Imagined communities. You're in one right now. So am I. According to Benedict in his 1983 book, Imagined Communities, Reflections on the Origins of Nationalism, an imagined community is a community not based on any sort of social, physical, or importantly, communicative element, but rather on a collective imagination. So Anderson kind of imagines this as the idea that started this rise of nationalism in the 20th century, but he also cites it as being a kind of ubiquitous experience for human communities in general, at least since the rise of the church. The original imagined community for Anderson was the church. It was this shared sense of morality that people got from religion. And then with the printing press, it became an imagined community around local news, around novels, and around media, and eventually around the idea of national identity. Now he goes into great detail about what kind of social institutions and technologies made these kinds of imagined communities possible. And if you want to check that out, it's all in his book on imagined communities. But what I think is important about this is how it affects media and sociology. That's what I'm really interested in, because thinking about where imagined communities are now, 40 years after that book was published, it's really interesting to see how imagined communities have sort of transformed. I don't think there are pure examples of Anderson's ideas anymore, because any imagined community around any piece of media is now at your fingertips with the internet, with the social internet. Because you can directly interact with people who are in that imagined community, I don't think the community is imagined anymore. It's now a real community because you have that at least pseudo-social element. And I don't think it's important to figure out whether Anderson's exact definition fits online communities, but I do think it's very important to consider that online communities are the result of a collective imagination. Just as an example of how ubiquitous this has become online, look at all of the different sub-communities that exist in forums like Reddit, or even other social media like Instagram or YouTube. These places that are famously echo chambers of the same ideas, echoing back again and again and again. And that's kind of an idea that Anderson was afraid of with the idea of imagined communities, is they're built on a shared sense of values that isn't really open to anything else. In fact, they're constructed in opposition to other ideas, outside ideas outside of this imagined sense of identity. And so you can easily be radicalized to act against other communities without ever really knowing your own community. And with seeing just how common these sorts of imagined communities are on the social internet, I feel like a lot of Anderson's concerns could easily be translated to critique that form. Then of course there's also the imagined community of the parasocial realm, like the one you and I are interacting in right now. I'm imagining that there's an audience when really there's a camera, and you're imagining that there's also an audience. You're not surely the only one watching any content creator. Well, maybe, but for the most part, when you interact with a content creator, you imagine yourself as one of many. You see there's this many views, and surely there will be many more after you're gone. And so you're part of this shared community around the ideas you're interacting with from that content creator. And I feel like that is a very Andersonian community. But it is interesting. It is interesting to see these ideas at play in the social internet. And I think really imagined communities, even not in the Andersonian sense, but in the sense of communities that exist only in the imagination, not in the physical or social world, are now more common than ever. So that's what I've been thinking a lot about lately. I guess I kind of realized this when I was on my bike and I nodded my head at another cyclist and I was like, huh, yeah, there's an imagined community there too. But yeah, the imagined communities are everywhere. Interestingly enough, I fostered my own imagined community. And so I guess now that I'm back, welcome back to the imagined community of Maxify Film, or whatever. Anyways, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think about these ideas. Let me know if I got anything wrong. I'm not a total expert on these ideas. I'm just someone who reads a lot of dense texts and interacts with a lot of crazy ideas. So I hope you found this insightful. I hope you start thinking about imagined communities, and I hope if you're interested, you go check out the many other videos on this topic, or to check out the text itself. It's actually a pretty interesting text, although it's pretty dryly written, I must say. But that's what secondary sources are for. Anyways, until next time, I hope you have a good one. I'll see you soon.